Hi everyone, it's Ash from FPL Hints, here with my Matchday 13 team selection for the final for UCL Fantasy. As always, if you're able to like, share and subscribe, that will be greatly appreciated. Now, let's get straight into it. And as a reminder, this was my first fully fledged UCL Fantasy season. And as you can see on screen there, at this moment in time, I'm ranked 77k out of 1.25 million. Now, I know that many of the seasoned UCL Fantasy managers are probably easily like top 5k or top 1k for many. So I'm way off the pace, for want of a better word. But like I've alluded to, I don't really have a massive interest in football beyond the Premier League. So for me to even be in the top 100k at this moment in time, I'm fairly pleased with that. And I'm looking to go out on a bang. And I know that due to my overall rank, if I play it safe, I could probably nudge another few K, maybe 70k if I was lucky. But I know I have to go all out, risk it all, and hope for the best. And if that works, then maybe a top 50k overall rank isn't too much to ask. So, as a reminder as well, I used all my chips relatively early on. I think by the time I finished the group stages, I was probably about 10k and was in a reasonable place. And yeah, for want of a better word, made some mistakes along the way and yeah, ended up where I am. So before I get into my team selection, as a reminder, it really was that quarterfinal second leg that really messed up my team. I mean, before that, the trajectory seemed reasonable. Of course, a problematic match day 6 made up for it in the round of 16 first leg and second leg to a degree. And then, yeah, the quarterfinals really were not kind to me with a aggregate net score of 79 points over those two legs. But I had to take a huge hit and it just didn't work out. And ultimately, the teams that I backed then eventually exited the Champions League. And it really was then a case of just taking more risks. And then in the semi final, back Dortmund and Real Madrid fairly heavily. And then it paid off. And then again, Füllkrug as a differential captain there. And then for the second leg, again, bit of a captaincy fail, but Hummels bailed me out, as did Kobel, and the Dortmund block there. So with the final, I'm in a situation whereby I had relatively decent coverage within my team. If I wanted to protect overall rank, I would clearly have gone for a full Real Madrid slate, but I'm in a position whereby I'm happy to chase. I've got nothing to lose, and why not just go for who I think has the most potential, albeit at a riskier level. So, without further ado, here is my team selection for Matchday 13 in UCL Fantasy. I've gone for Vinicius Jr. as my transfer in to go up top with Füllkrug. In terms of what my expectations are for the match itself, clearly Real Madrid are the heavy favourites. I don't think they've lost in a European final for 40 years. I think the last time they actually lost in a European final was against Sir Alex Ferguson's, well, he wasn't a Sir then, but Alex Ferguson's Aberdeen. And that was more than 40 years ago. So generally speaking, when Real Madrid get to a final, they pretty much win it. So again, I really couldn't justify getting another Dortmund forward. We've already got Füllkrug, and I expect him to start. So I just had to get Vinicius Jr. almost as a placeholder, dare I say it. So onto the midfield. Again, Bellingham and Valverde already had them. And then Sabitzer, Brandt, Sancho had them as well as a result of my semi-final picks. No changes there. The bulk of the changes really come in defence. So got Ryerson to complement Hummels and the other defender, Schlotterbeck. We can see that he has started like the last 4 games. I hope he starts the final as well. So I've got him in. And then Schlotterbeck, just go down to him. Again, has started the last 4 games as well. So I've got a triple up in defence, and I've captained Hummels. I've got Kobel as my goalkeeper. So again, it's really a case of I've got nothing to lose. Am I expecting Dortmund to keep a clean sheet against Real Madrid? Probably not. Very unlikely. But in the event that somehow they come unscathed, it's 0-0 and it goes to penalties, then clearly that would work in my favour. I don't think there are many UCL fantasy managers who are going to have a triple up plus a goalkeeper from Dortmund for the final. So it's a huge risk. And really, I've doubled down by also having Hummels as my captain. And as a reminder, different to fantasy football in Fantasy Premier League, there are other metrics that can score points for defenders, such as ball recoveries as well. And he's been outstanding. He's got 16 points in the second leg against PSG, 12 points in Matchday 11. Of course, it helped with the fact that back-to-back clean sheets obviously inflated that score. And really, he's just been sensational throughout this Champions League season, with points being picked up as he's gone along. So that is my defense due to my overall rank situation. And then onto the bench. Again, I had to get Lunin in because I need another goalkeeper. And then brought in Rodrigo, someone who actually did have in the earlier stages of UCL Fantasy, but then he's kind of like just tailed off, not had any substantial point hauls really in the past 6, apart from a few returns here and there. And I've got Nacho as well. And again, if I was playing it safe, I definitely would be starting like Nacho. And then there's Vasquez, who was benched in the second leg of the semi-final, and of course missed a couple of games prior to that as well. So even if I was in a position to have a full slate, I probably even wouldn't start Vasquez. Of course, we know that with UCL Fantasy that we can still make changes right up until kickoff. So in the event, let's say any of those starting players don't start, then I can obviously rely on this bench, meager bench. So yeah, there you have it. This is my UCL Fantasy team selection. I'll be honest with you, I didn't really want to make any more videos beyond the semi-finals, but I thought, you know what, it is the final. I've got this far. I need closure, and what a better way to go out on a bang than to also share my team as well. And yeah, very unorthodox. 8 Dortmund players who are starting for me. And again, in the event that somehow an upset takes place, then clearly my team could get a significant leverage in rising up the ranks. But I also know that if Real Madrid really turn up and completely dominate against Dortmund, then the captaincy will be a fail, the quadruple Dortmund defense will be a fail, and it would be really all in vain. But like I've said, I've got nothing to lose. And in terms of my overall rank, I'm chasing for the purpose of UCL fantasy in the wider scheme of things. So it's all fun and games for me. And there you have it. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Is it too risky? Is it not risky enough? And what would you do different? So there you have it. Take care and all the best. And who knows if I'll be making more UCL Fantasy content for the 24-25 season. It certainly has been fun and enjoyable learning the ropes along the way. But I think it will really depend on how it goes in the final. And yeah, if I can get a significant upset with Dortmund and shoot up the overall rank, then maybe that will give me some reason to carry on for next season.